Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Controller Slot B, the only show where we can disappear for like 2 months straight and nobody says anything.
Aha, there you go. That's the thing about being new.
Yeah, I'm Brett. This is Rat, and we're doing things. There's no Trent this week, or for the foreseeable future. He's off being a family man, being a military man.
Being an army dude.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck, army dude.
Yeah, man, absolutely. But yeah, new layout on screen. Stuff is happening. Let's jump right into the topic list, Rat, shall we?
Go ahead, hit it up.
Before the show, you were talking about being excited about the new Deltarune info. Let's run through that first, actually.
So it appeared in Chapter 2 appeared in a Famitsu, the 5th edition Famitsu Undertale service that they just recently put out, and it's been spreading like wildfire with a ridiculous amount of fan art already. And I don't know a whole lot about it past what I've seen. Like, this literally just popped up on my feed about 5 minutes ago or something like that.
Right.
But as it appears, Rouse has cake, and that's very important to me.
Yeah. There's also new sprites for all the characters, it looks like. Doesn't look like quite the same sprites as the old ones.
Rouse on Mask is 300% sending me.
Yeah, it's good stuff, dude.
He's sending me right now, so yes, I'm with you.
Oh, yeah. But it turns out, direct word from Toby, the game is still happening. Like, Chapter 2 is still in active development. It's still going strong, too, apparently.
I can deal with that. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's, apparently the script, most of the first draft of the script is done. Got a general layout for things. There's some sprite work happening. General development stuff is happening. It's apparently going faster than Chapter 1 was to complete, and that was like, what, 2 years? So, yeah. It's looking like they're on pace for a soon trademark release.
Oh. Ooh. Well, that's very exciting. I'm very excited, at least.
Yeah. And all this because it's the 5th anniversary of Undertale recently, and that's dope.
Congratulations, Undertale. You did it. You finally did it.
Yeah. Undertale's a good game. I like Undertale.
Undertale has always been really fun for me, at least.
Yeah, it's always been a good time. I don't think I've ever met anybody who blatantly just doesn't like the game, now that I think about it.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff. Speaking of recent video game news and things that are coming quote unquote soon that we don't quite know about, Xbox has released information about the Series S. Also, is that the right one, or is it Series X? Which one is it? Is the Series X the big one, or?
Oh God, I don't even remember now.
It's very easy to get confused. Microsoft does not know how to name things.
That sounds about right. No, it is the Series S that just recently got put out.
All right, yeah,
you're right.
But yeah, it's pretty cheap for a next-gen console. I think 300 is what they said they're looking at, price-wise. But
not horrifically expensive, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, it seems pretty low end for something brand new like that, with the way they've been talking up the tech in it. But you know, it weirds me out because we're hearing so much about the hardware for the PS5 and the Xbox Series. I'm just going to loop them both in there. We've heard so much about the hardware for both of them, but we haven't really heard much from either side about launch titles or games in general. I mean, PlayStation had a whole like hour-long thing about it, but they're really on Xbox's side specifically, there's not a lot. There's really not a lot.
There really isn't a whole lot of information out. I don't think we'll get to know too much about the systems right up until release. Once release happens, then God bless. We'll see what happens. We'll see how things go out from there.
Right. Because it's apparently on the PS5 event. Looking back to that, they mentioned a game coming out in 2 months from now. So that infers that the PS5 will be out in the next couple months. So I
don't know about that.
We really might not know anything about this right up till release. So
I mean, what? But maybe it's coming out for PS4 too. What game's coming out? What game was mentioned?
I'm pretty sure it was an NBA title, the one that just came out on PS4. I think it's getting a PS5 release too. Because it was
Maybe.
it was during their
That's
PS5
all
event.
speculative, though.
Yeah,
It's
it
all
seems a little
speculative.
iffy. But yeah, in terms of launch titles for either system, we know nothing as far as I know. Like I've been keeping up on this and I haven't seen a darn thing about launch titles. And that's probably what'd sway me the most, honestly. Yeah. Cuz hardware itself doesn't excite me in terms of video games. Like it's cool, we've got ray tracing, but yeah, I want to know what I can play on it.
Yeah, no. If you have the coolest stuff, I don't think I care. I don't care about anything gaming related. Like hardware, yeah, cool, that's neat and stuff like that, but it's not going to matter too much. What is going to matter is what's the actual gaming on it. So we'll see how things go.
Right, yeah. Because that's really what it's going to come down to, I feel like, is the games. And I'm banking that Microsoft doesn't do the same thing they did last gen and just not release many first-party titles at all. Because that's... Not having first-party support is just fundamental stuff for a console. If you don't have that, you're done. You're pretty much done out of the gate. It's amazing that the Xbox One lasted a whole generation, honestly, without them falling back on it and releasing something new. But it's I do admire Microsoft for one thing though. They have backwards compatibility down to a T for the most part, and that's also a very useful thing.
What are they messing with that? What's the next step for that one then, at least?
I know you can do Xbox One titles on the Series X, and I believe 360 titles are also supported. No word on original Xbox as far as I know, but that's better than any other console's doing at the moment in terms of being able to use your current physical back catalog.
Yeah, I don't know anything past that. We'll have to see how things go.
Yeah, again, it's kind of coming down to the wire here. Like it's looking like it could be anybody's game based on what they have to reveal.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. But moving on to other news recently, Mario's 35th anniversary is a thing that's happening.
What a mess. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel generally on I already pre-ordered it anyway, but on the 3D All-Stars collection. I already bought it anyway. I was gonna buy it.
I like the concept. It's like, yeah, I was already done with it.
Like, I was definitely gonna buy it. I mean, do you think I'm just not gonna get that Mario-themed pin set?
No.
I know what I'm about, alright?
He knows what he's here for, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, but... I see where people are coming from on both sides, in that, A, it's Nintendo, it's amazing that this is happening to begin with, considering how tone-deaf they can be. But, on the other hand, it is kind of low effort, considering they couldn't even be bothered to make all three of the games widescreen.
Well, the thing is, I don't really care about seeing Super Mario 64 widescreen, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because what are we looking at if we talk about Super Mario 64 widescreen? Stretch textures, that's what he gets.
Extra Goombas in frame.
Yeah. How many Goombas do I really need in that game? None.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah. But, I don't know, people are saying there's a fundamental lack of effort because people were looking forward to remasters, which is just a pipe dream. There's no way that was happening to begin with. I mean, it's possible, considering there's evidence that their 35th reveals were supposed to happen in April and not now, but I don't know, the way it turned out, I think I'm pretty alright with it all in all.
You might be right about that. You may have something there.
Considering I was gonna get a digital copy, but I decided against it and pre-ordered a physical instead because I know I'm gonna want a physical thing too, so I just got it. Because otherwise, as much as I'm kind of iffy about wanting it now, I know if I want it in 3 months, I'm gonna have to go on eBay and buy it for $45,000.
Yeah, it's not the fucking mood, ain't it?
Yeah, so I figured, why not have it now? And if I end up not wanting it in a few months, all I can do is just drop it on eBay or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But they did announce other things. Anyway, no, before I move on, I wanted to get your opinion on what you're thinking about the 3D collection.
About the 3D collection, it's the biggest mistake Nintendo's ever made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were talking about like the big remaster that got released on Switch and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, the port of Mario Sunshine, Mario 64, and Mario Galaxy in
I
one package. Yeah.
Yeah, I could argue the one thing that I would say that is just not it's not vibing with me is the entire fact that the excuse me, the the entire fact is that the what am I trying to say here? Processing, excuse me. We're looking at Nintendo pulling some really heavy anti-consumer bias here,
Right.
unfortunately. So we're gonna have to see how things go from there. And the main reason why I say that is that it's that thing is not even going to be that collection's not even going to be available for more than a year. It's going to only be available for less than a year.
Right. I forgot the limited time thing. I think it's like
Yeah.
just over 6 months it'll be around.
Why why is it they're not I they're not hurting for server space. I can pretty much guarantee you that.
Yeah. Considering their lineup this year, I don't know why they would have gone with that. Maybe it's to sell
No.
more copies faster. I'm not sure. Nintendo just kind of gets a little in their own head about things.
Yeah, it's only ow, it's $60 too. So we'll have
Yeah.
to see that.
Yeah,
60,
that
well, I mean, $60 for old games. There's already a lot of games. There's already a bunch of re-release games that are not $60, and those are proper remakes.
yeah.
These are just polished up copies of the old game. Like we could say that the Crash Bandicoot series that got released on Steam is
Mhm.
like $30 right now, and that's 3 games that are complete remakes. Um, and then the Spyro series is like $20, and that's a complete remake. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I see where you're coming. People are speculating that once they're done selling the game on the 31st next year, that they're just gonna release all 3 games as like a virtual console type deal. I don't know about that though. That
Yeah,
seems
I'm not feeling that either. That seems a little bit off kilter from what we know about Nintendo. I don't think Nintendo's going to do that.
yeah, and the price point. People are arguing that yeah, each game is only $20, and that's about what they were on the eShop before anyway, individually. But I still don't feel like they should have the gall to
For
do
$60
that
on the whole
for
thing. Yeah.
40. I might be able to understand, but Nintendo's, and I might even be able to let this slide if Nintendo hadn't already done this a couple times by just with singular games. Did you see what they did with Tropical Freeze recently?
What did they do with Tropical Freeze?
Oh.
I'm completely out of the loop on that one.
Okay, so Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze came out on the Wii U a few years back when the Wii U was still a thing, so more than a few years back. But it came out, it released, it was $60 at launch, and then it went down to 40, and Nintendo continued to provide it digitally for 40.
Yeah.
But they released a port of it for the Switch for a full 60. No added content, just a port.
I don't like that.
Yeah, me neither. It feels really not cool. And not only on top of that, rubbing salt in the wound, they took it off the Switch eShop, or not the Switch eShop, but the Wii U eShop. So if you were like, oh, I'll just go get a $40 copy on last gen console, nope, can't even buy it there anymore. That I cannot explain to the extent at which that bothers me.
It seems like a huge mess. And, well, what can you do at the end of the day?
Yeah, Nintendo has a real monkey's paw complex, if I have to be real about it. There's always a
God,
downside.
God, that isn't incorrect, though. You're right.
Yeah, there just tends to be a downside when Nintendo gives us good things. Hey, another good thing that Nintendo gave us though that doesn't seem to have a downside yet, probably just jinxed that.
What's the monkey paw here? What's going on? What's the plan?
They're making Hyrule Warriors too, and if I don't know much about the Hyrule Warriors series. I know it's good. I've seen gameplay of it, and I'm sure I'd enjoy it. I just haven't really gotten around to it. But
Yeah.
they're releasing a second one, and if I had to take a shot in the dark on what their possible monkey's paw scenario for this is, I would say that entire line of amiibo they released for the first game are not going to be compatible with the second game. If I had to take a guess.
That's not even nearly a monkey's paw situation. What we are going to see, what is kind of a weird monkey's paw thing. Well, no, that's a lie. This situation, I'm going to tell you right now, this is actually a game that is immune from the Nintendo monkey paw situation. Because Hyrule Warriors is not developed by Nintendo.
Oh, fair. I didn't think about that. That's a second party title.
That's fucking Platinum Games.
Yeah, dude.
So whatever happens. It doesn't matter to me.
I trust Platinum Games. Sure, why not?
Platinum Games does pretty okay.
Yeah, they do all right for themselves. But yeah, that might be the escape here. I'm annoyed though. I'm annoyed. Cause
like Yonoid or annoyed?
Yeah, I'm Yonoid. It's me. Where's the pizza?
Stay away from my pizza, you asshole.
Nah, but I'm annoyed at Twitter because Twitter.
What is Twitter angry about now?
All right, Twitter. Welcome to the weekly segment of what the hell is Twitter angry about? But this time, Twitter is angry that we got the 3D collection that we wanted, but they're not. Like, they're nitpicking it for reasons to hate it. It's not even the good reasons like the ones we were just talking about. It's stuff like Mario 64 not being widescreen and the textures not looking that good when upscaled.
I'm sorry. Do you want to stretch? Do you want to stretch some shit? Yeah. Sure. I guess. No, that's stupid. They're being dumb.
The main argument there, I can almost understand the widescreen thing, but it's a dumb thing to nitpick. But the thing is, people are saying, oh, well, if you put in this old 4x3 built game into widescreen, it might break something. Because GameCube titles, you put them in widescreen, like you force them to widescreen to show what's off screen on each side. That breaks things slightly. So they were assuming this game is also that way, and that's why they didn't widescreen it. But, argument, the PC port works just fine in widescreen, and you can even emulate it in widescreen, and it works. So I don't see the problem there. But yeah, I guess that's Twitter's just angry. Twitter's always angry. Twitter can't be satisfied.
Twitter is never happy.
Actually, no. Twitter was happy somewhat recently. Fall Guys came out, and Twitter was raving about it. I mean, the whole internet was, but Twitter specifically.
I'm glad Fall Guys is having such a good run on it, honestly.
Yeah, Fall Guys is a good game. I enjoy it. Pop in, have a round or two every couple of days or so.
I should probably hang out on and actually do some Fall Guys sometimes too.
Ooh,
I know I was streaming it not too long ago. I was streaming it, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I did a stream of it with Heat Zone.
Oh yeah.
Shortly after it came out, that went great.
I'm glad Heat Zone's doing all right too.
Yeah.
Heat Zone seems like a good bean.
Yeah, good dude. But Fall Guys, I feel like, really exemplifies what's good about video games to me, and that's specifically enjoyment and like moment-to-moment gameplay and also replayability. Like, those are 3 factors that I absolutely have to have.
Yeah, there's some good there's some good outcomes out of that game, to be honest. Good outcomes out of that franchise at the very least.
Yeah, it's aesthetically pleasing too. I genuinely enjoy the Wipeout aesthetic they're going for. It's nice.
Oh yeah, no, Wipeout's such a good game. Such a good game aesthetic anyway, so it's been working out well.
Right, yeah. I've been begging for a good Wipeout game forever. Like, there are licensed Wipeout games, and they're not exactly great.
You can tell. Don't pull any punches. You know they're bad.
Yeah, they're not. They're pretty bad. But they're licensed games, and most of them came out in the Wii era. So what can you expect? But yeah, Fall Guys is comedy gold. Good time. Looping back around though. Do you have anything topic wise?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, okay. So
I ain't got nothing today.
I'm gonna man the helm.
You're running
here,
solo today. Yeah, you're running this. You're running this as it is. So.
All right. Let's talk about RimWorld actually, because I started playing RimWorld somewhat recently.
We're talking about RimWorld of all games. Okay. All right. We can talk about RimWorld. All right.
in 2020 the world collapses and the half of the country's on fire, and here we are talking about RimWorld. Let's go.
We can talk. Let's talk about RimWorld for a tiny bit. I think that's something I can get behind.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, tell me about RimWorld.
I like RimWorld.
How's your delving into RimWorld going?
It was pretty good. I haven't touched it in like a week, but I'm sure I'm gonna go back to it soon. But it's fun. It's good fun, and I can just throw a podcast on and sit down for an hour and a half and hope everyone doesn't die.
There you go. Good choice.
It's a good time. Somebody out there is listening to this podcast episode and playing RimWorld, and things just got really meta.
You got really excited there.
Yeah, but RimWorld's a fun game. RimWorld's a very unpredictable game, but it's a fun game. I'm still kind of grasping a hold of some of the basic concepts. I'm almost there. I can feel it. I know I got a good 20 dead colonies in me before I actually get the full hang of it, but you know.
That sounds right and proper. I think you got it covered.
Love a good game that'll just throw you in there and hope you figure it out.
You're not going to. You're gonna. It's one of those games that you're gonna fail 100 times before you do anything else. So, no, that sounds about right. That sounds correct.
Yeah. You got any good RimWorld experiences, Rat? What you got?
My favorite experience from RimWorld so far is that I was playing RimWorld and I was
oh wow
who would have guessed? So like I started with a colony of 3, right? You know, we drop on pods and it was 3 dudes and a warg. And a warg is not uncommon to start with. It's one of the pets that you can start with, right? I'll take that over the 3 corgis any day. And then we run into some situation with pirates, and pirates come over, and the owner of the warg gets shot in the leg, and we put him on bed rest, and he dies of an infection, right? And this is about a month and a half after. No, this is about a year and a half after we landed, and the dude dies of an infection, and the warg, sensing his master's death, goes into a frenzy and kills the rest of my colony.
Right.
And that was the end of that colony.
Oh boy, that's wacky. That's wild.
But how crazy is that? That's just how that game is.
Yeah, that's just RimWorld.
That is just RimWorld.
I hear from other friends that play RimWorld that modding RimWorld is the way to go. Like, just throw a bunch of bullshit in there and hope things happen. But
not wrong.
I'm very hesitant to do that until I at least get a grasp on the base game.
That's understandable. Like right now, I've got a save file that is just a modded RimWorld of Skaven, and that's fun. That's interesting to get into.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. G-Boy, specifically. Have you heard about this?
No, what about G-Boy?
Oh, G-Boy. People are modding Wii's again for some reason. Like, they're making them portable, and it looks like a little Game Boy, but it's a Wii in there. It's a neat little DIY thing. They send you a kit. All you've got to provide is like the actual Wii and the tools to put it together.
That sounds so. It's almost like that one other game. It's kind of like that one. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. It's almost like the cardboard box thing. I'm trying to remember.
Oh yeah, Labo. All right, I see where you're coming from.
I feel like it sounds like Labo.
Yeah, it's not a Nintendo produced thing. It's just like a community made thing. But they send you a kit of 3D parts, and or 3D printed parts. Of course, no, the parts are in 4 dimensions. But
yeah, we now figured out 4D printers, and that really is revolutionizing a lot of stuff for us.
Stuff's starting to get a little bit crazy. People are storing their children in pockets of time. It's insane. But yeah, the G-Boy is a neat little device, mainly used for GameCube games on the go, which is a dope concept. Love it.
I like it.
Gotta get that F-Zero fixed somehow. But it's so weird that modding consoles, like hard modding them and making them portable, used to be like a really big thing for a couple of years, and it's so weird to see that come back in such a huge form. Like I see people talking about this constantly. I don't know if that's just because that's my corner of the internet or what, but you know,
It sounds like your corner of the internet.
yeah, it most likely just is. But you know, a lot of people are talking about it, and it's a neat little modification, and it's cool. But console modding in general is kind of a gray area. I don't. It's perfectly legal. You own the thing. Do what you want with it. But you know, companies just don't seem to like it when you take their hardware and just take a Dremel to it and just kind of cut a motherboard into 5 pieces.
Yeah, it turns out they don't like that most of the time.
Yeah, it turns out that's not a great thing that they enjoy. Nintendo hasn't acted against this, obviously, because they stopped supporting the Wii years ago, but they've been really vigilant about console modding for the past few generations, mostly software modding. And they
Definitely
say,
software modding.
yeah, they say it's for piracy reasons, which is understandable. Because homebrew is very much a piracy thing in some cases, but a lot of the time it's just so people can develop new things for an old dead thing. I don't think it's a cool thing for current hardware, but past hardware is totally acceptable. That's cool. Yeah.
I'm glad they're modding the Wii. Honestly, I've got a good feeling that we're gonna get some really interesting things in that era.
But yeah, the Wii getting modded all of a sudden is the Wii of all things is the one console I've seen that has had the most active modding community out of any of them, probably.
Now that is correct. Right, they have had some weird modding on that one. Remember I think it was the bridge glitch. So like there's a specific glitch in Twilight Princess. There's a glitch in Twilight Princess that basically allowed you to go ahead and backdoor the system.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it would allow you to go ahead and install like the homebrew channel is what it was, and then we played. I think the only thing I used with it was we played Quake, the original Quake on a Wii, and that was interesting. But you know what? I'm not in charge of that.
But yeah, there's very few Wii games that you're able to do this with. There used to be any game that accesses the SD card could do it to some extent. But Smash Brothers Brawl seems to be the game of choice for modding the Wii if you have to do it through a game, which there are other methods now, and you can do it completely free of actually having to have a game to do it. But, you know, it's neat. It's cool. Wii modding's neat. I mean, console modding in general is neat, but, you know.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of the more interesting things I can think of as far as that goes.
Yeah. But speaking of console modding, let's scoot on over to the realm of game modding for a minute, because that gets easier and easier these days.
Every year something new pops up. So what's being modded now? What's the interesting thing here?
Oh, there's a lot of interesting things going on. But specifically interesting to me is Super Mario 64, because I've been modding that recently and attempting to get a ROM hack going, and it's working out.
Yeah, no, that is something that I think is really neat, because we have a Super Mario 64 is probably one of the older games that we see modded these days, and I mean that in a good way. There's some really neat stuff they can do. Now it makes me wonder, what have you been modding it with?
Oh, I've just been doing custom level stuff and swapping out a few models here and there. But I generally wanted to talk about how very, very easy it is to get in there and just it used to be. I remember I tried a few years back and it was very difficult. But it used to be that like you'd have to download like 50 tools and then use a specific 3D format for your models and everything. And now they've just got one tool that manages everything, and you just download that tool and get a copy of the game, and you're done.
Well, there was that big leak that happened not too long ago that probably has a huge part of why that is a thing that we can do now.
Oh, right, yeah. We were going to talk about that on an episode right before the whole thing just went downhill.
Yeah. a massive, a absolutely massive dump of interesting information dropped on the community, and it included things like it turns out well, who would have guessed? It turns out who would have guessed? Did you know? Did you know? And that and I make a slight wave of my hand. Who would have guessed that in fact, L is real?
Yeah.
Yeah, L being real. Concerningly enough, L being real on the exact number of L being real on the exact number of
2401. Yeah.
yeah, it was almost predicted.
Yeah. The
And
prophecy has come true.
the prophecy is true. And that was cool to see happen.
Yeah, it was neat because I follow a bunch of Nintendo accounts on Twitter. So as I was out of the house, I believe, and I was just sitting there scrolling on Twitter, and I got to, over the course of like an hour or two, watch as people got their hands on the leak, found Luigi's model in it, and put him back in the game. All within a matter of hours.
Let's get this going.
Yeah, there's so many very talented people in the community specifically putting that together. Like that is amazing because that model, I saw the raw files for it, and that model was in like 50 pieces with textures all over the place.
Yeah, and they just made it happen too.
Yeah, somebody just went in there and stitched them back together. It's great.
Yeah, fucking God bless. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what would be required to do that. Right.
Yeah.
But here we are. It's done. It's got it all taken care of now.
Yeah. What's weird is fans banded together and built their own version of the source code. Like they just reverse engineered it. And a few months later in the leak, we got the official source code, which doesn't help anything modding wise because we're legally not allowed. They're legally just not allowed to use Nintendo's code because that's technically owned by Nintendo. But our reverse engineered version, we can do with as we please, and that's amazing. It's pretty sick. That's another testament to the Mario 64 modding community that they've managed to literally take this game, the finished released build of the game, and reverse engineer all the code. Like they had to translate it from, because the actual game doesn't have any lines of code on it. It just has machine code in it. It's all ones and zeros in the official copy. But
that's weird.
Yeah, because that's, I don't know, the N64 architecture is weird. But you know, they compiled it into machine code, threw it on a cartridge, and sent it out. And somebody went through there and figured out what each of those digits meant. And I feel like that is not feasible in any world, but technically possible because it happened.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody was very angry at Nintendo when we got that leak, by the way. Somebody got fired for that, I'm sure.
Oh, probably.
If not multiple people, then one person at a minimum was fired for that. But thank you China, I guess, because most of it came from the Chinese ports of the game through the IQ player. But you know, that's dope. Thanks China.
That was China's thing?
Yeah. What happened was before release, they realized, oh yeah, our console doesn't exist in China. We need a way to play this game, so they made a thing called the IQ player, which was basically just an N64, but without the cartridges. Instead, you'd go to like a kiosk, and it would allow you to download the games onto the console from the kiosk, and then you'd take it home and you could play video games.
Huh.
And those IQ copies of the game had a bunch of source code stuff in it and a bunch of beta content that wasn't in like the cartridge form because they couldn't fit it all in a cartridge, so they had to slim a bunch of stuff out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of rambling about the subject at this point, but
you're allowed to ramble.
Yeah, it's exciting. But final topic though that I have listed here is I I recently, another reason RimWorld kind of fell to the wayside, I recently buckled down and started playing Half-Life Alyx.
Oh, how's that going? How's that going for you?
It's going surprisingly well because I have a 1050 Ti in my current rig, which should not be able to do 90% of the stuff that I make it do. Specifically, this game is not supposed to work. Like, it chugs on, like, RTX 2080s. I do not know how I've managed to make this work. But I got a copy of the game, and it doesn't run at 90. It doesn't run at like the 120 FPS it's supposed to avoid motion sickness. But I don't get motion sick, so it's not a problem. But the game itself is amazing. Lowest graphical setting, still the best looking game I've played all year, hands down. It's fun. It's fun until a head crab jumps at you for real. That is the moment that things stop being fun and you know there's a head crab in the room.
Things swiftly stop being fun after that point, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I know a head crab's in the room, I'm just firing. I'm shooting anything that moves. It's just over. I cannot stress how stressful that is just to have something jump at your face like that.
Like, wow, oh, I see. Video game's done. Very cool. I thought I was having fun today, but evidently no.
I thought this device was made for entertainment, but clearly it's a torture method. I must have been mistaken.
I was incorrect.
Whoops, I seem to have found the modern day Iron Maiden.
Whoopsie doopsie. I'm trapped in the cell and I cannot escape.
Yeah. Seems the keys have eluded me. They're on the other side now. But I don't know. It's butt clenching fun. It's a good time. I spend half of the game because it has an exclusive seated mode that'll auto switch for you when you sit down. So I spend half the game as I spend in most VR games sitting down. Thus I go from normal Alyx Vance to wheelchair Alyx Vance.
There you go.
My legs just don't work for a while. It's fine. I can still teleport. But gravity gloves are a cool feature in that game.
It is actually really cool.
Fucks with my head though, because my dumb, stupid monkey brain will hop out of the game, and for like the next 30 minutes, I'll reach for things as if I could just pull them toward me. And I feel like that scene in I feel like Tobey Maguire in the first Spider-Man, except the webs don't shoot. He just looks like a fucking idiot.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's really bad, and especially I've done it in front of people before, and I look even more like an idiot then, because there's no context. But yeah, it's pretty insane. Half-Life Alyx, good game, totally recommend. It's I was kind of downfalling on all the praise it got because I didn't really get the hype. And then I saw it in VR, and I'm like, alright, I get this. There are actual liquids in these bottles. What are these shaders? What the hell's going on? But, yeah, we are at nearly 40 minutes, so we're shooting straight for the 45 mark. We're nearly there. What an amazing prospect. Who could have guessed?
Do we have anything to go? Do we have anyone or anything to go and thank? Do we have any people that we're hanging out with, or no?
Oh, do you wanna thank some people? You can go right ahead.
I ain't got nothing. I was figuring that it's like, oh, maybe you got something. Maybe you got something for us.
That's tough. But I'm really not sure. Yeah, we'll have someone next time. Oh, right. I can shout out Loogie. Loogie's doing things. He's releasing music and making money.
Yeah. Yell at Loogie. This will be Loogie's episode. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Loogie's pretty sick. Good dude. Good music.
Yeah. They're doing the Bit of Awesome collaboration series right now over on you can go and find that out on SoundCloud, and then it's a big collaboration event with a bunch of artists. Fantastic stuff. We're really looking forward to seeing what else and what other artists are out there for that.
Right. He's also working on a new album, and I was given exclusive access. Well, I don't know if exclusive, but I was giving pre-access to one of the tracks on the album to premiere on a stream. So go check that out. I'm sure the streams happened by the time this episode comes out. Well, it's Wednesday. I might not stream till Friday. Who knows? But if it's already happened, the VOD's probably still on Twitch. You can find it in the description. Subtle plug. But yeah, Loogie's cool dude. Cool new album coming out. I heard the new jam. I've got a premiere. It's pretty dope. Good jam.
I'm very excited about it. It should be really fun.
Yeah, it is a good time. What's going on with you, Rat? What's good? I've neglected to ask this whole time. What's been going on?
Nothing too terribly fancy. We've been playing some games. I've been streaming more often. We finally took a break after this huge thing. We've been taking a little bit of time to go ahead and get this covered. We've been playing Skyrim is going to be a big thing. I've changed over to kind of a different layout.
Oh yeah,
and,
I noticed.
Watch a couple of trailers before we do anything else. So that's been a fun little change of pace, I think.
Yeah, little new segments on the stream are always a good time.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, that's really it. Nothing too terribly fancy other than that.
Oh, really?
Completely true. Yeah, it's been slow, and I've been looking forward to just keeping it slow for a little bit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if you want some high-paced, full-octane action, come over to my stream. I'm streaming funny little Redman video games.
Redman video games, you say?
Yeah, there's a mustachioed fellow in my video games, and I'm
a mustachio. Oh.
Yeah, he's got a mustache. It's dope.
He's got one of the mustaches.
No one's ever seen anything like this ever.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Mustachio Man is out.
The red mustache man exists, and he's loose on the streets. Please,
he's loose. He's real. Help.
Please be wary. If you see him, contact us at this number.
I'm scared.
I'm very frightened. My windows and doors are locked. But yeah,
I'm
video
afraid
games.
And I know it's real.
Yeah, soon I'm doing next week. By the time this episode comes out, and also next week for real, I'll be streaming the 3D Mario collection because that comes out next week. It's gonna be dope. Good times.
Oh
yeah,
I think in general you're gonna have a good time with that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great, dude. People are voting. Oh, poll on my Twitter in the description for which game on the thing I do a playthrough of first. But yeah, that exists. That's a thing. I should probably stop plugging things now because we've been going at this for like 2 minutes.
We've done it. Perfect. Excellent.
The full 2-minute plug. No one's ever done it before. It's a first.
I feel like that's a lie.
Yeah, probably. There's someone out there probably willing to shill themselves more than me. But yeah, Rat, go for it. See if you could beat my time. Go for a plug. How about it?
No. I'm gonna do my best. Here we go.
All right.
I'm a Salty Rat. I'm over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Salty Rat. I'm not very bright. However, right. We're gonna be streaming most days at about we're starting between somewhere between 3 to 5 p.m. and we'll see how things go. That's EST. Brett, I'm sorry I wasn't able to do it.
Aw, man, you did it's okay. You did the plug speed run. Good on you. You're excellent. On the leaderboards. Enjoy.
Glad someone agrees with me. All right, that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the episode. We are 43 minutes in. We're right there at the 45. We can end at any time now. Any moment, listener. This episode's just going to stop playing, and you're not going to know about it. You're going to sit there and look like an idiot for a moment, thinking we both just went silent. There is no proper outro. There never was.
Button? Did you hit the button?